Hello and welcome to the latest Insurance Post video, where I'm delighted to say I'm joined in the studio by out-of-pocket expense experts, CEO and founder Legia Oswald and co-founder and COO Lukas Oswald. Welcome to the studio both.
Thank you.
So Legia, if I first will come to you, can you explain the origins of out-of-pocket expense experts and why is it interested in insurance as a vertical?
I co-founded Assured Relocation, which is a temporary housing company, in 2003 and worked with a multitude of insurance carriers and listened to adjusters for 20 years and worked with them side by side. And then in 2022, we were acquired and I thought, what am I going to do next? And how can I help the insurance industry? What can I do to add more value? And with that, I came up with out-of-pocket expense experts.
And Legia, can I say, what pain points you see in property claims that out-of-pocket expense experts can help with, particularly around the insurers and the adjusters?
So adjusters have a very large plate of work to do every day. They deal with vendors and contractors, policyholders, and they try to manage everything in a claim. And it's actually pretty astounding what they have to do in one day. And one of the things that I heard for 20 years was, oh my gosh, I need to get to those receipts, the expenses, and I need to reimburse the policyholder. And from what I know and what I understand and what we know now is that the insurance companies are still using Excel spreadsheets to get these receipts calculated and reimbursed. And so that's when I came up with out-of-pocket expense and building an iOS app and a portal to make it more streamlined.
Come to you, Lukas. Your app offers full end-to-end automated experience, from collecting receipts to verifying and auditing them. Can you give a short insight into the benefits of having one point of contact for this expense management? How does it enhance the overall claims experience?
So one point of contact, I like to look at the example of medical or buying a house. When you're in medical and something's happening to you, you like to have one doctor to talk everything over with. When you're buying a home, you like to have one real estate agent because it makes the process seamless and it makes it easy. So when we're looking at expense management, we want the policyholder to have one person that they're communicating all of their questions to, that are auditing all of their expenses, that are their go-to person for anything expense related. As Legia mentioned, the adjuster has so much going on with their day-to-day that, for them to get to, a smaller question about, when their expense reimbursement is going to take place or when they've audited their receipts, I think, having that one point of contact gives them peace of mind and it allows them to feel more confident in the auditor and the insurance company that they're working with because, they know that they're being taken care of.
And Legia, not all policyholders are tech savvy enough to upload receipts digitally. How can you accommodate these people too?
They are definitely not all tech savvy, that's for sure. But we have three ways that they can submit receipts. And one is through the iOS app and the portal, which is the tech savvy person. The second way would be for the maybe less tech savvy would be through email. Just send the receipts and then we'll handle it. And we'll even go as far as just send them to us in the mail and we'll handle it as well.
And Lukas, can you give real-world examples of how your app has helped policyholders get their reimbursements faster?
Mm-hmm. So when we started this business about 1.5 years ago, a lot of the first claims that we were receiving were from claims that took place 5 to 6 months, after the loss date. And so with that, these policyholders or claimants are waiting 5 to 6 months to, have any sort of idea about when they're going to be reimbursed, what the policy is, what the guidelines are. And so we've stepped in those situations and really been a resource for, the people going through that situation because they understand who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and ultimately it's helping them get money back into their pocket, which is what we want to do. Yeah.
And can you give again examples for the adjusters and the insurers again how it's helped them?
Yeah. So I'll start with adjusters. From what we've learned and working with them is that they're more or less superheroes. Everything that they have going on in their day to day. It's incredible to see how many claims they're working with and to see how much they're doing and to look at the niche service that we've developed when it comes to expense management. It offers them such a breath of fresh air because there's already a service for temp housing And we see this as, a close extension of that because we have such a background and knowledge of that, where we understand the claims process. And so taking this off the adjuster's desk, educating the policyholder on the expense guidelines, walking them through how to submit expenses on our iOS app, on our web portal. If they don't want to, they can email us, as Legia mentioned. But we're really being that main point for them, and alleviating all of that stress when it comes to money out the door, because no one likes to see their bank account being drained, and if anything, we're trying to help them get back to feeling a little bit normal. And so with carriers, what we're ultimately helping them at the end of the day with is saving them money. So when receipts are given the same amount of attention as other parts of the claim process, we find that we're deducting items that aren't approved, whether it's alcohol, whether the receipt wasn't in the approved time period, they bought an extra meal for somebody that wasn't on the policy. We're doing really everything on behalf of the adjuster and the carrier, and all of our customer service is driven towards the policyholder. So we sit in this beautiful experience of allowing the policyholder to feel taken care of, but also helping optimize the adjuster's workload. And then the carrier, we're helping them with the cost savings, but a huge aspect of that is actually client retention, because if the policyholder is receiving that reimbursement fast, quick, and it's easy, they're going to be thrilled with their policy. Whether they're waiting 6 months, that's a different story. We don't want to see that. So with the carrier, saving them money and increasing that client retention for them.
And Lucas, finally, how do you see the app evolving, and what can viewers expect from out-of-pocket expense experts over the next 12 to 24 months?
I hope many things, but a couple that come to mind right now is really automating the receipt auditing process. And what I mean by that is developing a software that can read the receipt for what it is. Right now we have a human verification aspect to it, which is great because we don't want to leave everything up to technology. We still want to have control of it. But being able to read a fast food receipt like McDonald's, for example, we know you can't buy alcohol there. We know if it's in the approved time period. We know what was on it because it's itemized. That should automatically be approved. Thus, the policyholder or claimant actually knows what they're going to be reimbursed for it. What I'm most excited about is really having to do with the carrier, and that has to do with the spending analytics that we're collecting. So we now know what a family of 4 in San Francisco is spending on a 3-month claim versus what they're spending in Salt Lake City versus what they're spending in New York City. And they differ drastically from what we found. And how that goes into working with our daily expense equation and really understanding spending habits, I think it's going to be super beneficial for insurance carriers moving forward.
So lots of exciting things to come.
More or less, I would say.
Well, I'd like to say a big thank you for Lucas and Legia for giving us the insight into out-of-pocket expense experts. Thanks very much.
Fabulous.
Thank you, Jonathan.
If you'd like to find out more information about out-of-pocket expense experts, then go to their website, which is outofpocketexp.com. That's outofpocketexp, one word, .com. Until the next video, it's goodbye from me. Cheerio.